Hello, everybody. It would appear I'm the only one here at the moment. I guess wait for more people to come in. Goodness makes badness go away. Goodness brings happiness every day. Badness cannot start if there's goodness in your heart. Goodness makes badness go away. Goodness makes badness go away. Goodness brings happiness every day. Badness cannot start when there's goodness in your heart. Goodness makes badness go away. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Ravaged land as never before. Total destruction from mountain to shore. Doo doo. Well, we got somebody else here. Hello, second person. I hope you're having a good day today. Just giving people a chance to get in here, and I thank you for the like and the share. Let's see now. I guess I can go ahead and talk. So we're gonna go through 8 articles tonight. Go through 8 articles tonight. 5 anime related, 3 comics related, and of course we'll have some wrestling roundup as well. I'm gonna start out with anime tonight. We got of the hey Lorenzo, Mike. I'm stopping in to press like and wish you a good show. Well, thanks, my friend. Yeah. So let's see. So actually, 4 of the 5 anime stories tonight, we're gonna be focusing in on Spy Family. There's a few profile pieces from there, and I kind of caught. So that should be interesting. Also, 10 ways that Cowboy Bebop is cliched. On the comic side of things, we got some news coming out from Robert Kirkman and Skybound. As well as some Marvel and DC news as well. Anyways, some fan art and all that. With that, let's see. All right. Well, anyways, so why don't we go ahead then, and since we do at least have another person in here, why don't we go ahead and get started right away here? So Alrighty then, so here we go. Hello, third person. And if you haven't already, if you can like and share the stream and see if we can get some more friendly people in here, that would be very appreciated. Anyways, here we go with our first article here. Let's start off with we got 5 anime articles we're going through, and 4 of them are in regards to Spy Family. So, which Spy Family has been a hot news item of late. You know, it's getting a lot of fanfare here. So, Spy Family Project recruits creators of Attack on Titan, Dandadan, and more. A Spy Family fan book will feature art from several top manga artists, including creators of Attack on Titan, Dandadan, Blue Exorcist, and more. Article by Michael Lacerna, published 11 hours ago. So here's some of that artwork they were talking about. I believe on the right there is Yor, and on the left is Anya. New Spy Family art has been declassified. And of course, if you know anything about Spy Family, of course, it's partially a spy anime. Where the main character adopts a little girl and marries a woman as part of his cover for his assignment. The new art comes from Spy Family fan book entitled Eyes Only, which features info on the popular espionage series characters and art from creator Tetsuya Endo. The book also includes numerous guest illustrations from some of Japan's top manga artists, including Hajime Isayama, the creator of Attack on Titan, Hell's Paradise, Kuraku author, Jigo Kuraku author Yuji Kaku, Heart Gear's Tsuyoshi Takaki, Dandadan creator Yukinobu Tatsu, and Blue Exorcist artist Kazue Kaito. A selection of the guest art was shared online by Weekly Shonen Jump News, unofficial. Most of the artists chose to draw the series' main characters, the Forger family, though Blue Lock's Yosuke Nomura created an illustration of Yuri Breyer and Fiona Frost. The Eyes Only fan book was released in Japan on May 2nd, which was yesterday. A localized release for other territories has not been announced. Here we go. Let's see. And I guess here's the list again of some of the I guess the only one that we didn't read before was Akira Kawashima of Comedian. Hey Woody. Hey, thanks for dropping in. If you can like and share this, see if we can get some more people in here. That'd be appreciated. Anyways. So, following up here, Spy Family began in 2019 as an exclusive title for Shonen Jump Plus, the digital-only spin-off of publisher Shueisha's hit-making weekly Shonen Jump magazine. So basically, Shonen Jump Plus is the digital platform the for the actual physical book Weekly Shonen Jump. Endo's manga was both a critical and a commercial hit. The series had a circulation of over 17 million copies worldwide and was nominated for an Eisner Award in 2021. An anime adaptation of the manga premiered earlier this year. Production on the new TV show is being handled as a collaboration between Wit Studio, which previously worked on the first 3 seasons of Attack on Titan, and Cloverworks, the studio behind last season's breakout hit romantic comedy My Dress Up Darling. Again, both of these studios are pretty well known right now. You know, let's see. The series is set in a world inspired by the Cold War and tells the story of a super spy known only by his code name Twilight. When his next mission requires him to present himself as a traditional family man, Twilight takes on the alias of Lloyd Forger and quickly puts together a fake family to get closer to his next target. Lloyd fails to realize, however, that his new family also have secrets of their own. His new daughter, Anya, is actually an escaped test subject with telepathic abilities, while his new wife, Yor, lives a second life as a ruthless assassin. So get this now. Probably not knowing the other situation, you've got a spy married to an assassin raising a telepathic daughter. That does sound like a very interesting story there. No wonder it's pretty popular. While other manga creators contributed to the Spy Family book, Endo created some guest art of his own, as he was one of the manga artists that was chosen to participate in Shueisha's Dragon Ball Super Gallery project. Endo redrew one of Akira Toriyama's classic manga covers in his own distinct style. The simulcast of the Spy Family anime is available through Crunchyroll. Endo's original manga is available in English from publisher Viz Media. So there we go with that one. That was the first one there. Let's see. Huh. All right, so here's the second one. As I said, these the first the first four here, and four of the five anime articles are doing all in regards to Spy Family. So here we go. Spy Family redefines what true elegance means. In episode 4 of Spy Family, the Forgers demonstrate what real elegance looks like during the Eden Academy admissions test, which I'm guessing that's where Anya is being enrolled in, is Eden Academy. Article by Hilary Long, published 7 hours ago. And look at that. You got Lloyd on your screen right, your screen left, and then Anya right there in the middle. Look at that, Daddy. uh, ah. All right. You guys know how it is. I don't do spoilers. Sorry about this. Blast it. Anyway, let's move on to this one. Oh, not again. Wait. Is this? All right, so we obviously have to change things up a little bit here because we just had two. I thought these weren't going to be spoilers, but apparently they were. We'll place these with a couple other articles. All right. Well, let me see if this one's got spoilers. Nope. Wait. All right. Nope. All right. So this one. So go with Jujutsu Kaisen here then. Jujutsu Kaisen reveals moody new art for the culling game. Gege Akutami brings together countless characters in a new illustration for Jujutsu Kaisen's culling game storyline. Article by Michael Lacerna, published 8 hours ago. Gege Akutami Man, I was looking for the see this. People are not funny. All right, now this one I'm pretty sure is not a spoiler. All right. So, anyways, Spy Family voice cast attempts to draw their characters with hilarious results. The Japanese voice actors behind Lloyd, Yor, and Anya were all asked to draw the Forger family, and the results aren't quite picturesque. So, so basically, now you got the voice actors from the show, the Japanese voice actors, trying to do, trying to become the artist here. This is going to be interesting. Article by Michael Lacerna, published 5 hours ago. A new set of Spy Family art comes from some unexpected sources. It's become commonplace for the animators on a series to promote their work by releasing new art on Twitter. The team at Mappa did it with the most recent season of Attack on Titan, as did the artist for Ufotable for Demon Slayer's Entertainment District arc. The staff at the new Spy Family anime, however, thought they'd try something different. Instead of asking the animators or art directors to share new illustrations online, producers of the show asked the Japanese voice cast to create art promoting the release of the anime's fourth episode, which premiered on April 30th, which was this past Saturday. The resulting works serve as a charming reminder as to why the cast got into acting and not the visual arts. Okay. The first drawing released was from Takuya Eguchi, the voice of central protagonist Twilight Lloyd Forger. Eguchi's drawing is notably lacking some of the expressive faces that Tatsuya Endo's Takuya and Iguchi. Tatsuya Endo's original Spy Family is famous for. I guess they're not gonna. Of course, they're not going to show the actual art because it's probably too embarrassing for them. You guys can't draw. The second piece comes from Saori Hayami, who plays Yor Briar in the show and is also known for portraying Yumeko Jabami, the main character from the Kakaguri anime, the gambling anime, basically. Um, Hayami turned in an abstract piece that represents the Forger's struggles with Eden Academy's administrators. Finally, the voice of young Anya, Atsumi Tanizaki, turned in a dynamic illustration that also represents the Forger's attempts to win over the school's hard to please officials. The anime adaptation of Spy Family premiered earlier this spring after being named by Japanese viewers as their most highly anticipated new anime of the season. Production on the new show is being handled by two of Japan's most celebrated animation studios. Wit Studio, which previously worked on the first three seasons of Attack on Titan, and Cloverworks Studio behind last season's breakout hit romantic comedy My Dress Up Darling. In stark contrast, um, to the voice actors' illustrations, the art direction on the anime series has received widespread praise. Uh huh. Well, it's it's a good thing they got, as I said, it's a good thing they probably got into acting. Fans looking for some slightly more polished Spy Family art should check out the newly released Eyes Only fan book, which we looked at earlier, of course, which includes art from the series. Well, we looked at the article, anyways, which includes art from series creator Tetsuya Endo, as well as guest illustrations from many other famous manga artists, including Attack on Titan author Hajime Isayama and Dandadan creator Yukinobu Tatsu. The Spy Family anime is currently being simulcast on Crunchyroll. Endo's manga is available in English in both print and digital formats from Viz Media. Yeah, I saw that there were like 4 Spy Family articles tonight, and I figured, okay, we could focus on them. But I just should have checked the 2 early, checked them all earlier to make sure they weren't spoilers. That was on me, because I don't like doing spoilers. Because even if most people probably won't watch it until it's dubbed, anyways. But anyways, all right. So all right. So this is going to be the last anime article we'll probably hit right now. 10 ways Cowboy Bebop is cliched. Cowboy Bebop is an iconic retro anime featuring the titular Jet Black, Spike Spiegel, and Faye Valentine. Despite its charm, the show has its cliches. Article by Brooke Thomas, published 5 hours ago. And from left to right there's Spike, Faye, and Jet right there. In English, of course, in the English dub, their voices are Steve Bloom as Spike, Wendy Lee as Faye Valentine, and Jet Black is voiced by Bo Billingsley. Netflix's November 2021 live action remake of Cowboy Bebop was critically panned. That's an understatement. It wasn't just panned, it was obliterated. But it was their own fault for being woke. And excuse me a moment, folks, as Chloe's barking, so I gotta go take care of her. I'll be right back. I'll leave you some music. Hello. Hey, Sakura Katama. I watched the first episode of Spy. Yeah, it does seem like it's a pretty cool show there, Sakura. Anyways, I'll be right back because I gotta go tend to my dog here. So I'll be right back. So just... All right, I'm back. I'm back now. All right. All right, so let's see. Yeah, being critically panned. That's an understatement. It still inspires fans to rewatch the iconic anime. To see how the original anime was a lot better than the load that they dumped on us there back in November. Doing so begs the question whether the original series holds up past the nostalgia, as the anime has its fair share of cliche moments. Revisiting it after so many years emphasizes this. While the show is undoubtedly a classic, its brooding main character, Spike Spiegel, overly sexualized female sidekick Faye Valentine, and cruel villain Vicious all feel like tropes that fans have seen too many times before. From overdone character tropes to formulaic plot lines, Cowboy Bebop earns its disapproving explications. Okay, well, I don't know if a lot of people really. I think a lot of people would still watch it anyways, though. So let's see. So the 10 of 10 here. Um, Spike's aloofness is a common character temperament. The aloof hero who assumes a devil may care attitude is a common figure in anime. These characters usually turn out to be great fighters who outsmart their opponents because they are so detached. Spike Spiegel is a great example of this archetype. He is a martial arts master and one of anime's best gunslingers. Confident in his skill, he often goads enemies into combat by frustrating them with his composure and arrogance. This results in widespread destruction almost every time, but Spike always comes out on top. He is one of the most cliched characters in the show for his adherence to this archetype, and fans can predict exactly what will happen because the trope is so formulaic. Well, it may be true, but it's still a popular formula. I mean, people will keep coming, granted, maybe it is a little overplayed at times, but people still like the character. I mean, obviously the character works because otherwise people wouldn't come back to it. It still wouldn't be talked about after all this time. There wouldn't be a desire for a live action remake for it if they didn't like the character. So let's see. Faye Valentine is used for fan service too often. Anime fans are well acquainted with the idea of fan service characters. This character is often placed in precarious situations to sexualize them. For example, Faye is often drawn in revealing outfits, like when she dressed up for the opera. Yeah, but that was still more of a formal wear, though. Furthermore, she is captured by a few different characters throughout the series, and this puts her in compromising positions with suggestive undertext. Well, of course, I mean, come on. Cowboy Bebop I don't think, was ever considered a kid's manga or kid's anime, okay? It was actually, I think it was actually made more for adults. So, of course, you're going to have that in there. But, aside from what she just talked about there, she's also a femme fatale. Okay, she gets the upper hand on guys by being a little saucy, as it were. This device is one of the top things fans want less of. I don't know. Obviously, this young lady's been reading Twitter too much. I don't think they want. I think they're fine with it. I think they're. I think they're fine with Faye and how she's portrayed, and you know, she's on. Aside from she's not just a sex symbol or just eye candy. Okay, she's a femme fatale. Okay, a femme fatale is a character who sits there and uses her sexuality to get the upper hand. Okay, if anything, it speaks more to the guy than the girl because the guy is so caught up in being excited that he can't think straight. Okay, and she just rightfully takes advantage of that. Um, as it is overdone and uncomfortable for a lot of viewers. Again, I disagree. I think this author is reading Twitter too much. Um, it can make even the most engaging anime feel cliched and disappointing. This exactly what happens when Cowboy Bebop exploits Flip Face. Again, I disagree with that. I totally disagree with that. Okay. She uses her sexuality as a weapon. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Contrary to what a lot of the SJWs and the Me Too folk out there would have you believe. Anyways, I'm sorry. I got to tend to my dog again. I'll be right back and I'll read your comment as soon as I get back. Sakura. Let me see. All right, I'm back and I'll read progress comment here. Let's see. So, Cowboy Bebop is my number one anime of all time. I met Steve Bloom. Yeah, I met him too. All right. Um, and Expo Philadelphia about 3 weeks ago. All right, that's good experience. I hope. All right. Number 8, the animal sidekick is a dime a dozen. Mine is an adorable animal sidekick who always gets the job done. With the help of genetic modifications that make him incredibly smart. He is a genuine dog who could even play shogi and answer communications. Though Ein is just a corgi, he saves the Bebop's crew more than once. Animal companions are widely popular in anime, from talking critters like Luna or Happy, the cats, of course, in Sailor Moon and Fairy Tail, respectively, to not quite animals like Karo-chan, um, Card Captor. Karo-chan is, I believe, the little lion looks like kind of a little cat or lion-like creature with wings. Um, and Cone Bleach, the like little teddy bear creature. Cowboy Bebop is no different. While fans typically welcome an anime's introduction of a pet or mascot, it is nonetheless a cliche for the sheer frequency of its use. So, again, I let's see. Are you going to Anime Matsuri? No, I don't have any plans to go to any anime conventions anytime in the near future. First off, I don't have the money for them. Or first off, I don't have that kind of money, and I don't really feel I have a reason to go at this point. So, anyways, moving on to Vicious being evil for evil's sake is overdone. I don't know. With a name like Vicious, I think that's exactly what he should be doing. Let's see whether Cowboy Bebop's primary antagonist is another character riddled with cliches. Spike encroaches on Vicious's love life and abandons their organization before the start of the series. So fans can understand why Vicious might hold some resentment toward the main character. However, Vicious' response to Spike and the world around him is melodramatic and cruel. Could just be part of his personality, part of his charm. Vicious got his name for a reason, but his displays of viciousness come across as evil for evil's sake. So what? Anybody with such a name that kind of goes hand in hand. You know, if you got a name like Vicious, of course, going to be evil for evil's sake. This reduces him to a generic villain role as a way to make Spike Spiegel a hero. Vicious doesn't feel so rounded as other characters, and this is mainly due to the one-dimensional character trope he boils down. I don't know. I mean, there is significant history there to counteract your claim there, little Missy. I mean, you yourself pointed out that Spike had interfered with Vicious's love life and left their organization before the series started. So there's a lot of personal resentment there, and there is a good reason for him to be as evil as he is. Um, Thus, he becomes a run-of-the-mill cliche of a villain. Again, wouldn't agree with that. Whose only goal is to achieve some amorphous standard of badness. Yeah. Spike never being able to get ahead on finances is a gimmick. Well, that's more of a reflection of the real world. Sometimes there are some people who just are not good at money. That's kind of that's a reflection of real life there. I don't think that's a cliche or that's something that's bad. Almost every single mission the Bebop's crew embarks on ends in catastrophe. They take a bounty to make ends meet, only to prove Murphy's Law. In the process, the crew does major property damage and is forced to spend all their money fixing it, if they even catch their target. Its plotline is familiar, as many episodic anime employ it. One Piece's Luffy spends all his earnings on food, only to have to make that money back, and the Yorozuya is always struggling to pay rent in Gintama. Um, Again, though, these are aspects of real life. That's not cliche. Those are aspects of real life, not virtue signaling, not proselytizing. These are examples of real life worked into an anime story. They're not cliche. They're real life. They're aspects of real life worked into an anime story. Cowboy Bebop's episode formula is not unique in the slightest. Fans can safely say that the majority of their missions have cliche plot lines with predictable endings. Yet, despite that, it still is one of the most popular anime out there. People still want to watch it, even if it's quote unquote cliched. It's man, this writer's a nitpicker. Cone. Hey. Hey, B2. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're having a good time. I'm just going over an article here. Let's see. Hi. Spike running from a secret past is not original. Oh, yeah, that is true that it is, but again, it still drives a good story though. Tons of heroes run from their past. It is a common way to stir up internal conflict. Well, yeah, we kind of see that even in Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles with 5D fluorite as well. One of the harsh realities of being Spike Spiegel is that he must constantly run from Syndicate. He cannot make amends for betraying the Syndicate and its leader because he knows Vicious is out for blood. So he pretends to be dead and lives as a bounty hunter. Fans have seen this happen many times. Guts tries to leave his past with Griffith behind in Berserk. Itachi Uchiha has to leave home to avoid repercussions for the crimes he committed in Naruto. Albeit that ended up being a lot more complicated storyline than just simply being a cliched storyline. You know, if you don't understand what I mean, I suggest you watch Naruto and Naruto Shippuden to get more of the story on that one. Eventually, they all have to confront those issues, Spike included. Thanks to this plot device's overuse, it falls firmly in the cliche. Again, though, it still works. It still worked. It still worked. People still like the show, despite that. Spike's obsession with noodles is not unique comic relief. Basically, and I get where she's probably going to go with this idea of ramen noodles being the poor man's bistro, basically. Um, Poor man's meal. It's so cheap and easy to make. Anime characters' obsession with food is often a source of comic relief, but it has become a common trope that has all but lost its humorous appeal. One of Spike's coping mechanisms is leaving his crew to search for a good bowl of noodles. This sometimes leads to calamity. He is either dragged into an altercation or he misses out on a crisis the crew faces while he's gone. Yeah, but I mean, there have been other characters who've had. I mean, look at Naruto. Naruto, whose favorite food is ramen. He should, yeah. In fact, they even point that out here. Spike is not the only anime character who obsesses over a single food. He's not even the only one with a noodle infatuation. Okay, now calling that a noodle infatuation. Okay, now that's taking things little a little over the top there. Now you're almost suggesting that that Spike gets some kind of sexual pleasure out of eating noodles, little girl. Now who's got the dirty mind? I think that was a wrong choice of word right there. As Naruto Uzumaki hyperfixates on ramen, meanwhile, Luffy is only focused on meat. While fans can relate to the love of food, this gluttonous character trope is passe. I don't know. In some ways, it can be, depending on how. Now, granted, yes, Naruto is hyper fixated on ramen, but it's not like they really overplay that. This girl just sounds like a nitpicker, really. Faye is the nagging woman stereotype. The way Cowboy Bebop treats female characters doesn't age well. Well, if you're sitting there on Twitter all day, I would agree with you because if you're a twittiot like this author apparently is, then yeah, in your opinion, it wouldn't age well. Though it is a frequently reoccurring stereotype in anime, Cowboy Bebop is accused of depicting female characters as nagging shrews. Poor Faye Valentine is regularly rendered in a bad light as she complains about the Bebop's cleanliness or a crewmate's responsibility. Okay, one, she's not really, she's kind of a crew member, so she's not really, I mean, I think as far as I know, Spike is the owner of the ship, so she really doesn't have much to complain. She doesn't have really a leg to stand on there. You know, two, you know, she's depicted as a strong woman here. You know, she, another way of looking at it, even if negatively, you could also argue that this is her way of being the nagging woman stereotype. Um, could be her asserting herself as a strong woman. She doesn't like to take the bull of the boy's lack of cleanliness, but at the same time, she's not really in a position to where she could force him to do anything because she's not the one in charge. All she can do is be responsible for herself. You know, um, you know, this girl who wrote this article is obviously a nitpicker and a twittiot. Fans are tired of portrayals like this. It does both the character and the women of the audience a disservice. I don't fully agree with that. There probably are more women out there who may not like the portrayal, but I don't. First off, I don't think it's all women, and also I don't think people are tired of the portrayals as much as this. Because again, why would they even attempt a live action remake if there weren't things about the show people liked, including some of these quote unquote cliched stereotypes that you're talking about there, little Missy. You're nitpicking apart a show. Do you go to any Mook and Juke for art? I have no idea what Mook and Juke. No, I use CBR, Founding into Comics, Critical Blast. Those are the three main sites I use for news articles. There's all coming off of CBR right now. Um, let's see. Relying on painfully overdone, oversimplified, and stereotypical characters of femininity is not only offensive, it's also plainly cliche. Again, I don't completely agree with her on that. She sounds like a nitpicking twiddiot who's trying to virtue signal. Two, the bebop reminds fans of other famous spaceships. There is little that stands between a let's see. What reminds fans of other fans? There is little that stands between a man and a spaceship in the science fiction genre. It is no different for Jet Black, who pilots the Bebop. He cares for and prioritizes his ship no matter the cost. Damaging the ship is a surefire way to elicit Jet's ire. Of course, because it, the ship serves multiple functions. It's their place of business. It's their home. You know, it's their common grounds. It's their livelihood. It's their life and livelihood. Famous spaceships are often named and piloted by a single character, who becomes that ship's legendary captain and fierce steward. Captain Kirk's USS Enterprise, Han Solo's Millennium Falcon, Star Lord's Milano are all good examples. The beloved spaceship is not a native trope. Many instances of it are iconic, but it is no less cliche. Yeah, but in this again, this combination of cliched situations works. The Julia, Vicious, Julia, and Spike love triangle was contrived. There's no better way to pit the characters against each other than to include a love rivalry in Cowboy Bebop. Vicious, Spike, and Julia have a tenuous relationship fought with betrayal and anger. Yes, love triangles work. Of course they work. Um, the love triangle is a tale as old as time. It can be found across all genres and mediums. An example of iconic love triangle anime is the one between Naruto's Ino Yamanaka and Sakura Haruno as they fight over Sasuke Uchiha. Very early on in the series, during their time in the academy and just after the academy. Another is Inuyasha, who cannot decide between Kagome Higurashi and Kikyo. Love rivalries are so popular because they are relatable, but they are still overdone. Well, no, they're a good driver of story. They're a good driver of drama. You know, they are a good driver of drama. So, um, anyways, so we're done with that one. Now we'll be getting to the comic portion of the articles here in a moment. But before we do that, of course, I will need to step away from the computer for a moment. First, as soon as I get to the as I said, I've got to step away from the computer for a moment, so I'll be right back. I'll leave you guys some music here until while I'm away. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. All right, so let's get into the comic articles here then. We got three of these. All right, exclusive. Robert Kirkman's Skybound shares a first look at Last Man Book One. A first look at Skybound's remastered edition of the Malik, Michael Sanlaville, and Bastien Vive's Last Man, a classic French action comic. Article by Dustin Holland was 12 hours ago. First pages of Skybound's upcoming Last Man Book One introduce readers to an action packed world and a charming young hero. CBR has an exclusive first look at Last Man Book One, a remastered English language edition um, that collects the first two volumes of Balak. Michael Sanlaville and Bastien Vives' acclaimed French fighting comic. The opening um, pages of the upcoming volume follow 12-year-old Adam Velba as he trains to participate in the Valley of the Kings fighting tournament. Adrian Velba. Adrian Velba. Adrian's passion is as evident as his inexperience in these beautifully drawn pages. Set the stage for a thrilling story and establish a compelling dynamic between Adrian and his mother. In addition to a brand new translation and extensive back matter, Last Man Book One will include an introduction by Robert Kirkman, best known for The Walking Dead and Invincible. Invincible, the comic from Image Comics, who has been a longtime fan of the series. Skybound will collect all 12 volumes of the series in 6 books, which will feature um, the gorgeous full color opening pages of each volume. So, here's the Here's the comic right here. The official synopsis for Last Man Book 1 reads: Adrian Velba has trained all year to fight in the Valley of the Kings legendary tournament. However, despite his ambition, he has no chance of winning. Not only is his partner unable to compete, but at 12 years old, Adrian is the longest of long shots. That is until a mysterious powerful stranger enters town, offering to join forces with Adrian. But who is Richard Aldana? And why, in a world of magic, does he rely solely on his fists? Amanda Lafranco, the editor of Last Man Book One, added, quote, I'm so thrilled that Skybound is bringing the complete Last Man series to English for the first time, and that we have the opportunity to retranslate and repackage the book into these new remastered editions. This classic series is beloved for so many reasons, but the vast and vibrant world that Bastien Vivet, Bollock, and Michelle Sanlaville um, have crafted through their storytelling, characters, and action is a marvel in sequential storytelling. One thing that has been vastly important to us, being as true to the original French collections as possible, maintaining dialogue and humor as the creators intended. And I think we're accomplishing that in these editions. Um, these are books I truly cannot wait for readers to get a hold of. Um, Once you dive in, you're almost guaranteed to become a fan. The story is just that fun. Here are some images from that story. I got a girl right there, and the illustrations there seem pretty good. Batman Book One will be available at comic shops on Wednesday, November 9th. So wow, that's quite a that's like end of the year. That's like 9 months down the line there. Huh, we're past the hour mark there. All right, so getting ready to move on to the next story. And as always, guys, feel free to comment and ask questions. And if I can't answer the question, I'll do my best to answer it. I can answer. All right. So, anyways, Moon Knight and Spider Girl crash the X Men's gala in new Mark Brooks fan art. Mark Brooks' latest Hellfire Gala fan art creation shows Moon Knight and Spider Girl dressed up to impress for X Men's second annual event. Article by Brandon Schwer, published 9 hours ago. So there they are, right there, Moon Knight and Spider Girl. The latest addition to Mark Brooks' Hellfire Gala fan art series sees Moon Knight and Spider Girl dressed to impress while attending the X Men's event. Um, Brooks has posted a collection of Hellfire Gala related art um, he created showing a number of Marvel Universe characters attending the X Men's annual event, following stunning looks at Spider Man's MJ, Venom, and Inhuman's Medusa. Brooks' latest piece shows both Moon Knight and Spider Girl readying for the gala with some jaw dropping outfits. Quote, last up for my Hellfire Gala Party Crashers series, the winner of the last poll, Moon Knight, and his date, Aranya, aka Spider Girl. Um, Now, it's kind of interesting that they would use Aranya as her name, as I think the scientific name for a spider is arachnid. So very similar in form and all that. He posted on Twitter, quote, both sporting fits the harken back to alternative looks they've had in the past, unquote. And here's the tweet. Brooks, an artist who has worked for both Marvel and DC, is one of the credited creators of Marvel's Anya Corazon Spider Girl character, along with Joe Quesada and Fiona Avery. First appearing as Aranya in 2004's Amazing Fantasy #1. I guess that's a newer Amazing Fantasy, not the original Amazing Fantasy. The character took the Spider Girl alias in 2010's Young Allies #5 in an effort to avoid being confused with Spider Woman Jessica Drew. Moon Knight Mark Spector first appeared in 1975's Werewolf by Night #32. Spector, a mercenary, became the titular hero after he was left for dead and then revived by the Egyptian god Khonshu. Khonshu then sent Moon Knight out on a midnight mission to offer assistance to anyone who is out at night and might be in danger. Spectre has dissociative identity disorder that sometimes allows alternate versions of himself, Stephen Grant, Jake Lockley, and more. Basically, dissociative identity disorder, or DID, is what traditionally is known as multiple personalities. Anyway, I'm going to step away from my computer for a moment to adjust some lighting here. I'll be right back. I'll turn on some music for you guys to listen to. All right, I'm back. Anyways, getting back to the article here. Let's see. to control his body. The character is portrayed by Oscar Isaac in Marvel's live-action Moon Knight series, airing on Disney Plus. Let's see, Marvel's upcoming X-Men Hellfire Gala #1 by Jerry Duggan, T.F. Vila, Matteo Loli, Russell Dodderman, Chris Anka, Carlos Gomez. I think it's supposed to be Will, not Well. Well, will tell the story of the X-Men's second Hellfire Gala. Similar to last year's event, the night promises a number of turns and revelations that will shape the way for mutant kind's future. Synopsis for the issue reads, quote, "At last year's Hellfire Gala, fans were mesmerized by the jaw-dropping fashion moment from Emma Frost's dazzling trio of Dodderman designed pieces to Colossus' unforgettable look by artist Lucas Wernick. Um, this year will be no different. Only this time around, mutants won't be the only ones making fashion statements. Hellfire Gala will be a night packed with repercussions for the entire Marvel Universe, and heroes from every corner will be in attendance. Wonder if this has any bearing on the new Amazing Spider-Man book that's coming out. Anyways, X-Men Hellfire Gala #1 releases on June 29th from Marvel. Alrighty then. So there we go with that one. One more article to go. Um, okay, so and I think I did check this earlier to make sure there weren't any spoilers. Yeah, no spoilers there. Considering what they would. All right, so Dark Crisis: Worlds Without A one shots. Creative teams announced. DC announced the creative teams behind the upcoming Dark Crisis Without a Justice League one shots that will begin releasing in this July. Article by Brendan Schwer, published 8 hours ago. This will be the last article we'll go through here. DC has revealed the creative teams behind the upcoming Dark Crisis Without a Justice League one shots. In the coming months, DC will release a number of Dark Crisis Without a Justice League one shots focusing on what the DC universe looks like without a Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and more Justice League characters after all but one member of the team met their demise in Justice League number 75. Dark Crisis checklist. 75. Here's, I guess, all the books that are showing up for Dark Crisis. Series of one shots kicked off in July with Dark Crisis Without a Justice League Superman #1 by writer Tom King and artist Chris Burnham, with an Aquaman backup by writer Brandon Thomas and artist Fico Osio. Dark Crisis Worlds Without a Justice League Green Lantern #1 follows in August from writer Philip Kennedy Johnson and artist Fernando Blanco, with a Hot Girl backup by writer Nadia Shamas and artist Jack Herbert. Dark Crisis Worlds Without a Justice League. Wonder Woman #1 comes in September from writer Teeny Howard and artist Lila Del Duca, with a Martian Manhunter backup by writer Dan Waters and artist Brendan Peterson. Dark Crisis: Worlds Without a Justice League Green Arrow #1 follows in October from writer Stephanie Phillips and artist Clayton Henry, with a Black Canary backup by writer Dennis Culver and artist Nick Varela. The series of one-shot concludes in December with Dark Crisis: Worlds Without a Justice League Batman #1 by writer Cy Spurrier and artist Ryan Sook, with Zatanna backup by writer Megan Fitzmartin and artist Dan Jurgens. Justice League #75 released in April and saw nearly every member of the team, apart from Black Adam, killed by the hands of Pariah and the Dark Army. Dark Crisis follows the aftermath of the team's death as the heroes left alive struggle to protect the universe from oncoming threats the Justice League ordinarily would have dealt with. The event officially kicks off Dark Crisis #0 Free Comic Book Day Special Edition 2022 on May 7th, which is, of course, this Saturday, followed by Justice League Road to Dark Crisis #1 on May 31st. A preview, which is like 4 weeks from today, basically. A preview DC released for Dark Crisis #0 Free Comic Book Day Special Edition 2022 shows heroes like Nightwing, John Kent, and others fighting off enemies, while Deathstroke Wade Wilson menacingly lurks around in the background. DC also announced Justice League #75 is going back for a second printing that will additionally include a new Wally West focused story from writer Joshua Williamson and artist Jim Chung. A Flash centric story will also be part Dark Crisis #0 Free Comic Book Day Special Edition, the New Justice League #75 printing releases on May 31st. Alrighty then. So there we go with that one, guys, and that was the last of the articles we're going to be reading tonight. I do have some more news items here. I do have some more news items, just not in article form. Okay, so with that, we are done with all the articles. So now do some wrestling roundup here. So coming up, of course, this Sunday is WWE's WrestleMania Backlash. One of the big criticisms that's been hinting at this is that it's filled primarily with mostly rematches from WrestleMania, and the only title match I think signed thus far is for the women, the Raw Women's Champ. Well, somebody said earlier the SmackDown Women's Tag Team Championship will be on the line as well. But I think I heard something where maybe I also heard that Bianca Belair should be defending the women's title against Sonya Deville as well. Originally, Roman Reigns was, I think they were thinking of having Roman Reigns in a singles match against Drew McIntyre, and having the Usos and rated RKO Bro in a basically title unification match for the Raw and SmackDown tag titles as well. But now they've combined those two matches into a 6-man tag. Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey will be facing off against each other, but this time in a I Quit match. And aside from that, there aren't a whole lot of other, like, there's a kind of an attitude there right now, like, who cares, because not much is really going on. You know, I mean, I'm sure there are people looking forward to the Cody Rhodes Seth Rollins rematch, but there's been a lot of talk that people aren't sure what exactly the WWE is doing with Roman Reigns right now. There has been some talk that they might turn him face, but then that might create a bit of a problem in terms of, well, who, if they turn him face and have him as a face champion, who would they try to match him up against? Now, they do also have the whole Edge is also playing up, building up his faction as well. Now, one other piece of WWE news that kind of needs to be addressed as well. So, Becky Lynch is the latest to do this. Like a couple weeks ago, I believe Liv Morgan asked this as well. So there's apparently somebody out there who is claiming to be certain WWE superstars and asking fans to send them money. Okay. Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch have both asked fans. In fact, Becky's gone as far as to say she's begged fans, please don't send me money. Okay. If you get one of these, messages, don't send them money. First off, WWE superstars make quite a bit of money. There is absolutely no reason why a current WWE superstar would even be thinking of asking a fan for money. Okay? They make good money for what they do. Okay? So if you get a message from somebody claiming to be one of the WWE superstars asking you for money, it's a scam. Do not fall for it. If you can, report it. Liv Morgan, tweeted out that she was very saddened to find out that a male fan had actually lost his house falling for the scam. Becky Lynch recently came out and begged fans, please don't send me money. I don't need, she doesn't need the money. WWE superstars do not need your money. So if somebody tries to contact you via direct message claiming they need money from you, claiming to be a WWE superstar, it's a scam. Do not fall for it. Be warned. If a WWE wrestler, if you get a message, somebody claiming to be a WWE wrestler, do not, I repeat, do not send them money. It's a scam. So that's all on the WWE side of it. A&E. Now tomorrow night, of course, is Dynamite. And there's a few things going on Dynamite tomorrow. Among those things include a match to determine the undisputed Ring of Honor Women's Championship, as Ring of Honor Women's Champion Deonna Purrazzo, facing off against interim ROH Women's Champion Mercedes Martinez. The winner of this match will be the undisputed Women's Champion, just as Jonathan Gresham became the undisputed ROH World Champion at the Ring of Honor Super Card last month. So that match is going on. You also have two qualifying matches for the Owen Hart tournament. As in one match, you have Red Dragon's Bobby Fish taking on Jeff Hardy of the Hardy Boys. They'll be going for the they'll be looking to qualify for the Owen Hart Foundation tournament, as well as in the other match on the night for the tournament. you have Dante Martin of Top Flight taking on Ray Phoenix, a battle of two high flyers. So those matches should both be very exciting. Four very talented members looking to make their way into the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. Also on the night, you will have Wardlow facing a mystery opponent chosen by MJF, as MJF looks to send another person after Wardlow to try to beat him down, try to humiliate him, as Wardlow is still under contract. Still wants to get his hands on MJF, he keeps putting roadblocks in his way. So that's a lot of and there's also a potential confrontation coming between Serena Deeb and AEW Women's Champion Thunder Rosa, as Serena Deeb, coming off her victory over Hikaru Shida last week in a Philly street fight, getting Shida, the former and longest reigning AEW Women's Champion, to tap out. So now Serena Deeb is looking to set her sights on Thunder Rosa to go after the AEW Women's Champion. And they have faced off against each other before, so there is some history there. Also, as I just found out just prior to the broadcast tonight, the Mikestand tonight, this Saturday, Impact Wrestling will be having its Under Siege pay-per-view. Already announced for the night, of course, I believe Josh Alexander is going to be defending the Impact Wrestling World Championship against Tomohiro Ishii, as announced last week on Impact. This week's edition of Impact will be going a little further into that, as well as and probably announcing some other. You got, of course, the rivalry between Honor No More and Bullet Club looking to light up. And we'll probably be finding out more matches that will be coming up. And I believe also the Briscoe brothers will be going after the Impact Wrestling World Tag Team Champions, by design at the show. So let's see. With that, looks like we're coming down to the end here. So, of course, with that, I think it would, unless there's anybody comes in and wants to ask anything or anything like that, I think it might be a good time to start wrapping things up here, as we're coming up on an hour and a half here. So by the time I think I'm finished with the history segment and some of the last segments of the night, we should be good to go then. Let's see. Yeah, we're already at an hour and a half, so. All right, so today being Tuesday, May the 3rd, 2022, let's go ahead and take a look back at this day in Nietzsche history. History! And, of course, our first stop, we're going to head back 75 years ago today, on this date in 1947. As on this date in 1947, Fritz Freeling's Tweety Pie debuts in theaters on this date back in 1947. This is actually the first pairing of Bob Clampett's Tweety Bird and Freiling's Sylvester the cat. So this is the first time that Tweety and Sylvester are paired up together in a cartoon in Tweety Pie. So on this date in 1947, Warner Brothers debuts Tweety Pie, which features the first pairing of Tweety and Sylvester in their classic feud, classic rivalry. So with that, moving on to the next piece of niche history here. And on this date in 1982, 40 years, on this date 40 years ago today, Jimmy Garvin, who would go on to become one half of an incarnation of the Fabulous Freebird with Michael P.S. Hayes. On this date back 40 years ago today, he would defeat Mr. Wrestling 2 in West Palm Beach, Florida for the NWA Florida Heavyweight Championship. On this date back in 1982, Jimmy Garvin would defeat Mr. Wrestling 2 for the NWA Florida Heavyweight Championship in West Palm Beach, Florida. So there we go with that one. And finally, our last piece of niche history here. On this day in niche history, back 16 years ago today, in 2006, the 100th issue of Archie and Friends went on sale today, featuring, of course, two stories from Archie and featuring a story from Josie and the Pussycats. So on this day in 2006, 16 years ago today, the 100th issue of Archie and Friends would go on sale on this date back in 2006. So there we go with that one, guys. So now don't forget, of course, we're on Monday through Friday, 6 to 9, at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget this Friday, of course, we'll do our historical comic retrospect. Batgoat will be joining me. As we look back on comics history, we start our coverage of 1939 this Friday, looking through books that went on sale from DC Comics, including, focusing on finishing up the stories, the Superman and Ted Thompson stories in Action Comics, Wanted Superman, from Action Comics, Volume 1, Number 9, Wanted Superman, and this Part 2 of Dr. Chung-'s Ape Army. And time permitting, we may even hit up a story from one of the other books as well. So with that, guys, I thank you all for being here tonight. I thank you guys for the likes and the shares. I hope you guys have a good rest of the night, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.